Tuscany is made up of 10 provinces. The capital city of Florence, Italy is only one of these. Taking a day trip from Florence to Tuscany is an efficient and enchanting way to see more of this part of Italy. When I was last visiting Florence, I had limited time, but I knew I wanted to explore more of Tuscany. If I had had more time, maybe I would have planned out a train itinerary for myself to stop into different towns. If I were a more confident driver, maybe I would have rented a car and gone to the different towns myself. With neither that much time nor the confidence to drive alone in a foreign country, I instead chose to book a tour so that someone else could be in charge of the planning and the driving. So in this video, I am sharing my experience, what the tour included, what I wish it had included, and some general tips. To book the exact tour that I took, which I do strongly recommend, you can follow the QR code on the screen or the link in the description below at any time. I chose to book my experience with a company called Take Walks, and I've talked about them before. This is a company I've previously booked tours with in France and in Portugal as well, and their experiences always deliver. They really focus on how can we make our experiences, our tours, more authentic, more intimate, more focused on immersion. And they're also extra conscious, I feel, on partnering with local people. So I really have come to trust this company. So for this Tuscan day tour, our day started off in Piazza della Repubblica, which was the central meeting point. This is where we met our guides and the rest of our tour group. They split our group up, so there were about 14 of us total, and they split us up into 2 different cars, which was nice. And our very first stop on our way out of Florence was actually at the iconic Piazzale Michelangelo, which I had never before visited in the morning during the day. I've always only gone there for sunset. It was really beautiful and really quiet up there at that time of day, not many people around. And so it was really nice to be able to take in that view over the entire city of Florence. We had a bit of a photo stop there, and then we got back in the car and drove to Siena. So in Siena, first, our tour guide gave us a bit of a walking tour and some history about the city, which was really helpful and interesting.
This beautiful square. This is the business card of the city of Siena. It's the first square that we have before. In something which is not probably a perfect place for them.
And walked us to the main church in Siena. And then, my favorite, we got some free time. Now, as someone who loves to solo travel, but also likes the convenience of group tours and experiences like this, I always appreciate having that blend. Here's our group time together, and here's some tour and some guidance and instruction and information. And also, here's free time to go play and do what you want on your terms. So what I did with my time was, first, I bought a ticket to go into the church, but I didn't go in yet. I just wanted to avoid any potential lines later on. And I had not yet had coffee or breakfast. So I walked back the way we had come, found a cafe, and grabbed a cappuccino and a cornetto to go, and I took it back to the main central plaza in Siena. I saw a lot of people were sitting on the ground there and kind of having picnics or just sitting and taking in the views, and so I literally did the same. I just sat down on the ground, enjoyed my cappuccino and my cornetto, and just looked around and had one of those "this is my life" moments in the sun in the city of Siena. It was glorious. And then once I wrapped up my breakfast, I walked back toward the church, went in, took a tour around, and then came back out and met my group, and it was time to move on. Our next stop was a 5th generation winery, beautiful property. They also have a hotel on site, so people can actually stay here. They gave us a tour of their facilities and explained their winemaking process.
The skins and liquid packed together, remove the wine on the bottom, from the top to the bottom, and again to the top to crush and to move grapes.
It was cool because there are only a certain number of days. I have this somewhere in my notes because, yes, I'm a nerd as a travel content creator who takes notes when I go on these tours. Everyone looks at me. It's super fun. Somewhere in my notes I have this. There are only a certain number of days during their process where you can smell the grapes and smell the wine as it's going through its process, and we were there during that time, so it smelled glorious. And they walked us through their process and then sat us all down in this beautiful little dining area.
Buon appetito.
We had a gorgeous, nice, light yet filling, healthy, delicious meal with a bunch of different wine pairings and tastings. It was so fun. We just sat there and had a leisurely lunch and talked to each other. It was really nice. We also tasted some balsamic vinegars. We had a few other tastings, and then you do have the option to buy things, and if you're not able to carry them back, they will ship them to you. So that was also really nice. We had some people take advantage of that. Our final stop was one I was really excited for, to San Gimignano. I really hope I'm saying that right. A friend of mine had told me about the town before I went, and the way that he described it to me was said, it's a town, it's a city, and when you look at it, there are just a bunch of like towers shooting out from the ground, and so it has this very like unique, beautiful look to it, and I wanted to see that. If there's one change I would make to this entire day tour itinerary, it would be to have the opportunity to see the city from that vantage point, because we went straight up to it and into it. I didn't get to see that iconic view that I really wanted to see with my own two eyes of the city with all these towers. So I need to go back and make that happen for myself. Here we had about an hour, and it was mostly free time, and the first thing that I did and a few others on our tour was go to the center and get the most famous gelato, this award-winning gelato. Super long line, moved pretty quickly, so I stood in it and grabbed our gelato and went out to a really beautiful viewpoint, and this is where I was just like, oh my god, I need to come back and spend some time outside of Florence in other areas of Tuscany and just soak in this view. So by this point of the day, I mean, this is a full day-long trip, so we're kind of like winding down energetically too. Before meeting the group back up, I ran to the restroom, so there's a public restroom available. You need to have some euros on you so you can pay the cash, which is very typical all around Italy and a lot of Europe. There is probably going to be a bit of a line, so give yourself enough time to go and do your business before you meet the group back up, and then you'll drive on back into the center of Florence. And by the time we got back, it was maybe like 5 in the evening, so plenty of time to have dinner in the city of Florence. I also encourage you to tip your tour guide if you're looking for an easy and fun and pretty relaxing way to explore more of Tuscany. I strongly recommend booking this day tour. Buon viaggio!